All right. Baker Mayfield went apeshit this weekend. We got a bunch of trades going on this week. Bye weeks are happening, and I'm sure there's a whole lot of injuries. So let's just jump right into things. You're not here for any of the fuckery. You guys came here for the stats, and that's what we're here to give you. Welcome back to Through the Wire, the podcast. Yes, listen, man. We survived week 6. Well, I don't know if I can say week because I got slaughtered this weekend. But listen, if you're here, that means you're still in the game. Week 6 has just passed us. We're rolling into week 7, and there's a ton of NFL moves. I don't know if we should start by recapping. Listen, last week, Baker Mayfield has completely put on the show. He let everyone know that he is officially... Like, come on now. He's that guy in Tampa now. We don't really have any doubts. This has been his team. He's definitely carried the torch from Tom Brady. And I don't know if Tom Brady put some special sauce in that torch, but something happened. Baker Mayfield is revived. You know, if anyone was watching the games this week, you know, it wasn't just Baker Mayfield that was at the top of your points. Sean Tucker, the Tampa Bay running back, he was out there. You know, he put up 136 yards over the weekend, and he also gave you guys a touchdown and a receiving touchdown. He also had 56 receiving yards. So I think there's something going on there. I don't know if it's the New Orleans defense that's a problem here, or if their offense is just this good. You know,
who knew to play tough?
Honestly, the top 3 players are the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because after Sean Tucker, then there's Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin gave up 125 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All 3 levels, basically.
Every level, it was just about equal out here. But everyone belonged to one team. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So if you had anybody on the Buccaneers this weekend, I mean, I'm pretty sure you ate. I don't want to, I don't want to speak too much on the...
Not really
Mike Evans. I was just about to say that, but... listen, man, Tampa Bay's doing something right. Other than that, Jared Goff also had a great weekend. I saw Caleb Williams went off. There was a couple players that I think really stood up this weekend. Jared Goff.
He's another one.
I don't know what to make of this. I don't know. Let me ask you a question, right? When you see this win over the Dallas Cowboys, do you give this credit to Goff, or do you think it's just the Cowboys' defense and it was luck?
I'll honestly say it's a little bit of both.
Yeah?
Because, let's be real, the Cowboys' defense has not been what it has usually been for the past few years. They are underperforming at an exponential rate. They just gave up a historic loss at home. That was the biggest point differential that they've given up at home loss since 1988. But then on the flip side, Goff has been he's been doing it. It's like he had a perfect week last week where he was like 18 for 18 or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's been doing it all season. He's been perfect. It's a combination of both. It honestly is a combination of both, because these NFC North teams are not to be they're not to be overlooked. They are not playing games. They're coming for it. Both them and the Vikings are coming for the league this year.
Gotcha. You know, it's funny you say that, because I was really looking at a really vast distinction in between the AFC teams. The Cowboys right now are at 3-3. They're basically middling at 500, and honestly, I believe they're going to sink even lower. I don't think they're going to stay at 500. I can see the Cowboys. I can see the Cowboys ending the season under 500. Unfortunately, I just don't think the Cowboys look that strong. The games that they are catching wins they don't look that believable.
Impressive.
They're not
impressive.
They're not.
They're struggling against teams that they should, on paper, be blowing out. It's really sad to see going on. If you're a Cowboys fan, I'm sorry for you.
I mean,
you're going through it.
I mean, I'm sorry, but correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a Cowboys fan, you should probably be used to this at this point. Am I right? Like,
you know what? You're right. They've you know why? Because in the last few years they've been a very good season team. They've been a good season team. They've been getting like 13-3. They had what season it was last year, but it was like 14 wins last year.
Yeah,
they're used to having wins.
I mean, they won against the typical teams as well this year. The games that they won against the Cleveland Browns, the New York Giants, the Pittsburgh Steelers. These are teams that you should be able to beat. And I'm a Steelers fan. I'm keeping it real. I don't have any hope in the Steelers this year. All of the wins that we have, it's poppycock. That's bullshit. It's not real. But nonetheless, the Cowboys again. It's a tale of two different teams. Like the Cowboys looking at 3-3 at 500. The Lions are sitting at 4-1. They're actually They're actually at the top of the league right now. They're right under the Vikings. And basically with them being at 4-1 right now, I could see the Lions actually being a threat in the NFC playoffs this year.
The Lions got to a point when they were trying to get linemen touchdowns.
That was bad.
They were toying with them.
That was embarrassing.
That's embarrassing. It truly is. And on Jerry Jones' birthday.
Does it make sense to you that right now, and this is probably going to sound funny, the Atlanta Falcons, the Commanders, the Lions, and the Vikings are the top teams of the NFC right now?
The biggest surprise, Commanders, because nobody expected them to be doing what they're doing with a rookie quarterback.
Absolutely.
I'll say Atlanta's not much of really a surprise because the NFC South is the NFC South.
Yeah.
And luckily, these teams are just semi-playing competently right now. But Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. It was just all a matter of if he came back from the Achilles injury properly, and it's showing that he has.
I gotta be honest with you. I hear you, but when I look at a division where they're going against the Saints, who look like an amazing team in the game, but on paper they're 2-4. It's hard to believe that. The Saints have they're playing pretty good this year. Carr is not a bad quarterback. I mean, the Saints.
And they wasn't even playing last week. It was Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler still looked good.
They had a rookie quarterback, and they still look good. Like I said, they're competent.
Yeah, they're competent.
I'm not saying they're world beaters. But
even the Panthers. I mean, the Panthers, I'm shocked that they're,
because it's Andy Dalton. Once they took out Bryce Young, the team played more competently.
But they're still at 1-5 right now.
It's not an easy dub like it was before.
No, it's not an easy dub. You're right. You're absolutely right. And that's why it's kind of like...
I'm saying competent.
It is. And that's something that I feel like the NFC is completely just wild this year. I don't think anyone kind of... Week 1 of this year, I don't think anyone could predict how the season's kind of turning out right now. With the Lions being at the top of the league, Vikings, let's speak on that for a minute. No one really saw the resurgence that we're seeing right now from
Sam Darnold. That's the biggest surprise, honestly.
This is all very shocking. So, like, watching the Vikings, and then Washington, like you said, the Commanders, I mean, damn, this kid's playing amazing. He might make it to the playoffs in his rookie year. This is exciting. This is like... this is like a fairy tale story. So, I mean, personally, and that game with them in Baltimore was amazing. I enjoyed watching him and Lamar go back and forth.
That field, it could become a nightmare.
Yeah.
That's one team that needs a new stadium. So
oh, yeah.
If they want to protect their investment, that's an investment they truly need to make.
Yeah. Nah.
Because that field is taking the legs of too many people.
Man, I'm sorry. So, look, I didn't want to stay there too long. There's a lot going on in the league right now. I don't know if you want to jump into some of the trades that happened this week. Want me to jump into it?
Yeah, no, just go on, sir.
All right, cool. All right, so if anyone's been paying attention, basically there was a few blockbuster trades that took place. As you all know, Devontae Adams has officially been traded to the New York Jets. He is reunited with Aaron Rodgers. He's going to basically take over that wide receiver core. So if you have anyone in that wide receiver core right now,
sorry for you.
I am sorry for you. Okay,
sorry for you. Wilson owners.
Yes, sir.
Al Lazard owners.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry for you.
Yes, sir. And matter of fact, let's jump into this now. How do you feel about this trade, Ness? What do you think about?
Oh, it helps. Last week I said it helps Devontae.
Yeah, we talked about this in the past too. It helps
Devontae. It helps Devontae because I said it too. It's going to be the Jets.
Yeah, we've been saying this for weeks now. It's something that we've talked about in prior episodes.
The New York Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, I wonder if this question. I wonder if the firing of Saleh has anything to do with this signing that we're seeing right now. I wonder if he was disapproving of this. It might have been a battle in the back office.
I honestly don't think that he and Douglas had any type of conversation when it came to it. It was just them putting the team together for him. I don't think they figured out any real input. I don't think they
really.
Yeah, because he wasn't really winning. I think they only valued him on defense. When it came to offensive moves, they didn't give a fuck what he thought.
Really?
He wasn't involved in the offense whatsoever.
Gotcha.
They don't care.
So, I mean, outside of the wide receivers, does this affect anybody else on the team?
Possibly. It all depends on if teams are going to it'll probably help the running game because teams are going to respect it more. They're going to respect the pass game more. Mm-hmm. So it should definitely help Breece Hall and now Braylon Allen.
Oh, man, that kid's amazing.
Oh, yeah. Kid's amazing.
He had a great weekend as well. So, I mean, the Jets definitely should benefit from it. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, this could be a great thing for the Jets. If he can make it through the season, you might have a good season on your hands. But if he can't, then this is all for nothing.
Oh yeah, no, you Devontae Adams owners, yeah, y'all are happy now.
I would trade him still, and you know it's funny. I'm gonna leave it on this note, right? I said this a few weeks ago. I know you didn't agree, but I still feel the same way, even more now. You know, Aaron Rodgers looks good. Don't get it twisted. He looks really good out there at his age. But I think that at this point, I still look at Devontae as a liability because the minute that if something happens to Aaron Rodgers, his stock immediately plummets, and it's like whatever you did to get him, it wasn't worth it. Whoever you could have got at his position.
It's tied to it. It definitely is tied to it.
So I really probably would use him as trade bait to get someone who could probably be of equal or more value. You know, you're probably not going to find that, so you might have to take a little bit of.
And that's why, and that's for that reason. That's why I'm willing to rock with it for the rest of the season.
Just rock it out. You'd rather take him than take the dip? I'll take the dip, man.
Rock out with that for the rest of the season because that man's going to be an all-pro.
Yeah.
He's going to be an all-pro. The way he's about to get force-fed, please.
Yeah. I get it. I ain't mad at it.
We have enough tape.
So you wouldn't take like a Juju for him?
Fuck no!
Huh? I get it.
The opportunities that Devontae's gonna get compared to the opportunity, like the targets that Devontae's gonna get compared to the targets that Juju's gonna get.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know, my God.
We're at week 7, right? We got about 7 weeks left. We're at the halfway point, really. We'll revisit this into the season. We'll see how it goes with these two players.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I'm going to be wrong. I might be wrong.
You will be. Because the way that Patrick Mahomes throws that ball around,
yeah,
and then now it's mainly the Travis Kelce show again.
Yeah. All right, so we had another huge trade this week. If anyone who's paying attention, you guys are aware of Amari Cooper being traded away from the Cleveland Browns. He is now a Buffalo Bill. Man, I love this for Cooper, especially.
Definitely helps Cooper.
Yeah, he's on my team, so I love it even more.
And I believe it helps Shakir. He'll open up more space for Shakir.
Oh, this helps. I think this helps everybody. This is definitely going to help Josh Allen. Josh Allen does look a little bit rusty out there. I'm not going to lie. Watching the game, I can be honest and say it wasn't always his receivers. There was a lot of passes that he missed. He overthrew.
A lot of overthrow.
And I think it's just frustration on his part because he knows he's dealing with a young receiving core. Yep, he knows that he's dealing with some guys that he's gonna need to like pull to their potential. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes I can see him giving up a little early, but I feel like now that he has Cooper on the team and he has somebody that's gonna be solidified where he needs them to be, I think that yeah.
Yeah, because that would like help Curtis Samuel too. Because you would think Curtis Samuel, being the veteran that he is, you would think he would be doing a lot better. But
yeah. So yeah, Amari Cooper going to the Buffalo Bills. Another trade, man. They've been really busy this week. The trade deadlines are approaching. Yeah. So Cam Akers, the Texans have traded Cam Akers to the Minnesota Vikings. This one came out pretty peculiar to both of us earlier.
Yeah, because Akers was just on the Vikings last year.
Literally.
Literally. Signed him for a reason.
Yeah. And the only thing that was peculiar about this is that we already know that the Vikings already have Aaron Jones. And then you have Ty Chandler as a backup. So I just thought they had a solid backfield already as it was, but it looks like they want to add some more depth. I guess there's probably some concerns. It makes me question the Aaron Jones injury a little bit more because, it was very little worried about how severe the injury was, and I think seeing this trade happen today makes me think he might be out a little longer than we expect.
Yeah, because they also have Myles Gaskin on the team as well.
That part. Yeah.
I think that they just, because Cam Akers is coming off of 2 decently productive weeks for the Houston Texans, and he got some value back to him. So I think the Texans are able to get something from it.
Yeah.
Because they got both of their running backs back. With Pearson and Joe Mixon being back in the lineup.
They do. Man. So that was all the trades that happened this week. All right, so we're going to move on to the next part of our show called the watch list. For those of you who are new to the show, this is just a part of the show where we go over players that you don't want to add yet. You just want to keep an eye on before you waste the roster space. Mm-hmm. Right now, we have a few players that we could jump into. I don't know if you want to jump in right away or if you want to let me take the lead.
No, I can start it off real quick because I know we definitely have somebody we agree on here.
We do.
I'll just go with one that everybody who had we spoke on him earlier. He had a big week for running back.
Yep.
Sean Tucker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yes.
As you had touched on earlier, he led the running backs this week with the most fantasy points. But he that mainly came as a contribution to Rachaad White being out. So he's going to be dependent on the health and basically of Rachaad White. Even though I do believe I heard that the coach was talking about possibly doing a 3 running back approach.
Oh,
and that happens,
that sounds nasty.
If that happens, that no one's viable at that point. I don't want any parts of that. So then that's why I say you just gotta watch it. It's a wait and see approach to see what happens. Yeah. You never know. Rachaad White could end up being traded out of here. Who knows? So
yeah.
That's why I say keep him at the watch list, even though that was 136 yards and a touchdown with 3 receptions as well for 56 yards.
Yeah.
It's really good.
No, that's amazing. I can't lie. That's pretty good numbers. I mean, it's a wait-and-see approach at this point. Shoot, I would say there's probably other players that could return guaranteed value right now for you if you need answers this week. But as, you get progress with understanding where White stays and what the depth chart looks like, pull the trigger. Who knows? The next player I would have to add to this watch list is someone that I think, it could be. I'm not going to lie. I don't think he's somebody that's going to do anything amazing, but I do think he should be watched, and that's why I'm mentioning him. His name's Gabe Davis. Yeah, man, when you look at the wide receiver core over here, you got Christian Kirk, you got Brian Thomas Jr., and you got Gabe Davis. It's pretty much been Brian Thomas Jr. all year. Mm-hmm. Christian Kirk finally, like you said.
Last week.
Right?
He had his reemergence you're on the team.
Right?
You were just the leading receiver
before week 5, we had nothing from Christian Kirk. And then this week, we got Gabe Davis have his blow-up. At this point, anyone in that wide receiver core could eat. It's pretty much just a pick of the litter. So I would keep an eye on Gabe Davis because if he can give you numbers like this, Consistently is a little far-fetched because I've seen Gabe Davis before. I've seen what he's done on the Buffalo Bills. He's never been a consistent player. He's always been a boomer bust.
Big time.
But he was like a consistent boomer bust, if that makes any sense. It was like he was more frequently booming than busting.
Because, that's always the thing is that Josh Allen always at least took 1 or 2 shots at him a game.
Yeah.
Took 1 or 2 shots at him a game.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just got lucky. If it was a PI, it was a PI. If it was an overthrow. That's basically what it was. You knew he was getting a deep ball.
And you knew if Stephon Diggs wasn't playing, he was about to eat. So I can see him being a factor here. I know what he has potential of, but I also know what his potential of consistency looks like. So it's about just taking the gamble of watching what he does. Don't move too fast. I don't want you guys to drop your shorts on this.
Drop your shorts is a wild colloquially.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
That's wild.
So another person I'm going to add to your watch list is a wide receiver from the Denver Broncos, Devon Vele. He's the wide receiver over there, and he's currently rostered at about 0%. After I think it's Josh Reynolds.
Yeah,
that's his name. Josh Reynolds got injured. Basically, Reynolds was the receiving leader in the team. he got injured, and of course, everybody is expecting Sutton to step into that spot because it's been his role. However, Devon Valet, this week we noticed that he was pretty much one of the target leaders on the team. Now, I do think this is a very convenient time because we also have Brock Purdy, who's been getting more familiar with the team. He's been throwing the ball around more.
Not Brock, I mean Bo Nix, my friend.
I'm sorry, Bo Nix. Thank you, bro. Brock Purdy. We do have Bo Nix, who's also stepping into another part of his season. He's throwing the ball around more. He's definitely getting a little bit more acclimated with the receivers. I saw, Devon Valet tally up about 78 yards on only 6 targets, 4 catches. Basically, I think this is somebody that could end up being a number 1 wideout now that Cortland Sutton is the only other competition for targets. I also think this is somebody that you should pay attention to because this is somebody that was a rookie receiver that they drafted this year in the 7th round. I feel like they picked him up for a reason. This is somebody that they definitely feel can be an active part of their team.
Oh, yeah.
He's already been catching the ball before this game, but this game right here was his breakout, and I think we're going to see a lot more going forward.
He was on my watch list weeks prior.
Yeah.
I've spoken about him on his show.
You absolutely have.
About him in the past.
I remember.
There was a period he was looking like he was going to emerge as the receptions and target leader. Then he got hurt, and then he was pulled out. Then he was healthy again. He was just getting a bunch of coaches inactives, and that could partially be because he is a 7th round pick. When you're a 7th round pick, you're lucky if you make the team.
Absolutely.
So when you do make the team, like you said, they probably do have a future for them forward. We're probably seeing that emerge now.
Yep.
So definitely, I agree with you. I would put him on my watch list. Because you never know with a rookie QB, if he has that type of chemistry with him, you can end up having yourself a
absolutely, winner. Especially if Bo Nix keeps going up the way he's going now. He's starting to see an uptick in his play. Again,
more decisive.
Yeah. Watch list him. Again, 0% rostered. You don't have to rush to put him on your team.
That part. Nobody really knows about this kid.
No one knows.
This is basically like.
Don't tell Scotty, okay? Just don't tell Scotty.
Probably one of the few people talking about.
Who you got on the watch list this week, bro?
All right. Well, we're gonna go with a QB this time. Drake May from New England.
Get out of here. He's on my. All right. Okay, I got him on my list too. I see you.
Look at us overlapping.
Okay. 14% owned, quarterback for the New England Patriots. Why is he on your watch list?
Well, he had his first start over the week. He had his first start over the weekend, and he showed out.
He definitely did.
That young man put himself a stat line for 243 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions though, but still, for your rookie, your first start in the NFL, to put up 243 yards,
not bad.
That's not bad at all, right? Especially for such a team in an offense that looks so inept throughout the first 5 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I mean, this changes the game for everybody on the Patriots. I mean, Hunter Henry's gonna get a little bit more of a uptick in his game, like his value. I mean, we've seen a lot of other players. Jalen
Polk is going to see Polk. Kendrick Bourne can see a
even the running game, even the people like Ramondre Stevenson who have been pretty bad this season. You might see him turn it around. Yeah, this could be a good thing for everybody.
Now defense is finally going to have to respect them.
Yeah.
So they're going to open the box.
Yeah.
Which would and since we're also talking about this offense, that leads me into another watch list that I have on this actual team.
Yep.
Which is Demario Douglas.
Like
he had a big week last week. He pulled off 6 receptions for 92 yards and a touchdown. Now, that was his first time doing something like that all season, but he has been getting targets. I haven't seen that he has been getting targets in the past weeks. And that's why I want to watch it because, like I said before, Drake May, it is a rookie quarterback. You don't know who he truly has chemistry with yet, so it could have just been a matter of, hey, they got lucky today. It was game script. He just happened to be open. So that's what I want to watch. I wanted to Chris Stroud rush to get him. I want to watch that. But if you have anything to say, my friend.
Well, I do, but I actually will hold it back because he's going to be in the next part of the show, which I would like to bring in, which is the ads. This is basically the waiver wire ads. So I wouldn't put him on my watch list, honestly. I would actually have to make him an ad. So before I go ahead and do that, I just want to say thank you for checking out the watch list. This was brought to you by, you can present your advertisement here if you're interested.
Please.
We're open to product placement opportunities. So if you are enjoying the show.
We're safe. We try to be.
Come on now.
Please.
I could be PC. You want me to curse less? We could do that.
We can do that.
You want me to do a little trick? All right, I'm joking. No Diddy parties, please.
No.
We do have this opportunity for anyone out there who wants to have any product placement. Just go ahead and reach out to Podify Studios at the email below. But thank you for checking out the watch list this week. We're gonna go ahead into the next segment, which is the ads, the waiver wire ads. And I'm going to just kick it off, continuing on the conversation that we were having about Demario Douglas. I think there's a lot that needs to be paid attention to here. Demario Douglas is not somebody that just had a kick off this week. He's someone who's been going off. Demario Douglas has been getting 9 targets about every other game. He's put up, in the past, he's gotten, 59 he got 59 yards the week before this. He had 69 yards 2 weeks ago against the Jets, who were a really serious team. This was his first touchdown of the year because he had the first game with a real viable quarterback. But I also say that to say...
No offense, Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, no... you can take offense to Jacoby. It's business. It's not personal. Looking at Demario Douglas this week, put up a top 10 performance, I think it's going to be hard to hide him on the waiver wire. This is why I would add him. I think this is one of those players that you would have to have on your bench as a speculative ad. Reason I say that, these are players that you don't really know if they're going to continue to play at this rate, but you just can't risk leaving them on the waiver wire. I think these are people that if you're putting the watch list button on them, you might be doing yourself a disjustice because this could be your week to grab that player before it's too late. A top 10 performance is not something to scoff at. I think that does put him on the radar of a lot of players in your league. And for that reason only, I would add him in this part of the show because he's somebody that I think you need to have him on your bench and let him sit there and be watched speculatively until you feel like it's safe for you to start him. But I think that that's a safe place for him to be after this week. We know what Drake May and him don't have a lot of chemistry yet. It's not like they have a bunch of games in the tuck. This is our first game, so we do want to be sure we weather our expectations. But there's a lot to come out of that first game, and I don't feel bad wasting a little spot for him.
Because it comes down to what league you're in. It
definitely does.
If you're in a league with sharks, you might want to pick him up immediately.
Absolutely. That is something that definitely needs to be mentioned. Because, once again, Drake May is only owned in 14% of your leagues right now. So he is highly available in most leagues. Yeah. But, I would say, that's the person I definitely would kick off the ads with this week. Honestly... Yeah, I was talking about Demario Douglas, right? I said his name. Did I say Drake May?
Yes, we did.
Yeah. So, Demario Douglas, like I said, he's owned in about 8%. I don't know why I said 14. I said Drake May. Yeah, so, like I said, Demario Douglas, he's owned in about 8% of your leagues right now. He's still highly available. So, if you do, like Ness was saying, if you're in a competitive league, you could leave him on the waiver. But if you're in a league like ours and 12 team and up, it's competitive. They'll get you... Put him on your team.
8 10-man league, you can let him wait. But 12 to 16,
yep.
You could be screwing yourself over.
Who you adding to the waiver? How you adding from the waiver wire? Who you putting your stock in this week?
Man, let's see with my first pick for the ads. I will go with Cole Kmet.
Okay.
On the Chicago Bears, though. You don't have to really rush out this week because they're on bye.
Yeah.
They're on bye coming up, so you can definitely wait till next week. But
I think this is the best time to get him on the bye.
It is the best buy
because most people are sleeping on him.
Yeah, it's really the best time because he is coming off a big game.
Yeah.
5 for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns, and we've already spoken on this a million times when it comes to the tight end position. That's the type of thing you want to have. So I'll agree with you. You gotta go for him immediately. Just you're not gonna have him for a week, but the following week. He's definitely going to be a viable option to play because he gets used. Caleb Williams is just getting better week to week, so he's become a very viable player in that offense.
Yeah, man. I definitely agree. Nothing else to add to it there, man. Next player I would add on the watch list. I'm pretty sure you guys are all aware of this player by now. He's probably on every thumbnail on your timeline. Juju Smith-Schuster. He's currently owned in about 34% of your leagues. He's the wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs. Personally, I just think this is it's been building up. Juju Smith-Schuster is at this point. He's leading the team in yak. He's performing at a high rate still. He's got the team chemistry with Pat Mahomes. He's got the team chemistry with Pat Mahomes. I don't know really what else to say. Juju Smith-Schuster has definitely pulled himself into the top tier of receivers at this point. I don't trust the receiving core of the Kansas City Chiefs, but it seems like he's been a favorite of Pat Mahomes for these last 2 weeks, and it looks like it's going to be this way going forward. Did they have any injuries recently? Wasn't there someone that went out? Rashee Rice, right? It was like after Rashee Rice went out, they activated Juju last week.
Yeah, they brought him in and activated him last week. Yeah. Because, it's Xavier Worthy, Mecole Hardman. Mm-hmm. It's a lackluster.
They let go of Hardman too. Hardman was let go recently. I don't think he was on there this year. Hardman was on another team actually. Hardman was recently let go of another team.
Traded for him last year. There was Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice.
Was it Hardman that was released? My bad. I take it back. He returned to the Chiefs this year. There was somebody else that was released. I can't remember who it was. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. Continue. My bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that's basically the players that are on that I can think of off the top of my head. As wide receivers, because the tight end, it's Travis Kelce.
Let me see something. Yeah, Xavier Worthy, Mecole Hardman, Justin Watson.
Xavier Worthy is the type of player that has he has a future. It's just that being a rookie.
Yeah.
He has to learn the route tree.
Yeah. I mean, they were hoping that Justin Watson would be the type of player that could do what Juju's doing now, but it looks like Juju just came in and filled that slot for him.
Immediately.
So I don't think they're not really missing on anything. They're pretty stacked at this point. I think they're gonna keep going. Plus, Travis Kelce is playing at his full potential at this point. I think they're looking good. I don't know. I think Juju Smith-Schuster definitely somebody that needs to be added this week. If you don't have him on your roster, I would say get him. He's only available right now. He's only rostered in about 34% of your leagues. So if you're able to get Juju Smith-Schuster, go ahead and add him.
I'm sure he's taking in all of mine.
Oh yeah, he's definitely not in ours. He's definitely not available in our league.
All right, the next player I wanted to go with on the ad list is Tyler Algier of the Atlanta Falcons.
Yep.
Now, this young man is coming off of a game where he had 105 yards and 1 touchdown. He is the backup running back to Atlanta, and they just seem to be hell-bent on using him. Every week, they do seem to be just using him regardless. So, hey, they're a high-tempo offense, and I believe that he could be of value to somebody out there.
Absolutely. Especially watching the way the QB's playing right now. I'm sorry, Kirk Cousins. I mean, when you have a solid QB at the helm, it makes it easier for the running backs to play the way that they're supposed to play because it just breaks the game up a little bit more. So now that I don't know, ever since they lost Matt Ryan, Kirk Cousins has been the most respectful that the team's looked since. So I feel like Algier's been on the team for a while, but this year I feel like he has the most potential to really break out. and
because this was Bijan's best game for the season.
Yeah,
from a receiving and rushing aspect, and he still Algier still had more yardage, at least more rushing yards. He outpaced him.
Well, that's what it is, man. The next player on my list, I don't even know how I feel about adding this guy. This is honestly I'll be honest with you, it's a bittersweet feeling adding him. This is almost like, it's almost like you have enough money to get no frills. So, yeah, you're eating, so you should be happy. But it's it's not Fruit Loops. But you should be grateful because he's available in 44% of your leagues.
True value.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa. Oh my God. I believe you're doing this on purpose now.
I really don't know how to.
I truly believe you're doing this on purpose.
Tua Tagovailoa, say it again.
Tua
Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa. That's how you say
Tagovailoa.
You say it different now.
Tagovailoa.
Tagovailoa.
Yeah, Tagovailoa.
Not Tagovailoa.
It's Tagovailoa.
Tua Tagovailoa.
But you can say Yoshivas.
Yoshivas is easy.
Iosivas.
I mean, the spelling is weird, but it's Yoshi. All you gotta think is Yoshi from fucking Mario and Voss. That's easy. Tua Tagovailoa. Tagovailoa. Tua Tagovailoa. Low key, I just say Tua and I get away with saying his name every time.
Everybody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
I should have just did that this time. I forgot his last name, just like he will next year. I'm sorry. Listen, Tua, I'm sorry. I forgot your last name. You'll get used to it. It's gonna happen to you in a couple years.
Wow.
I'm sorry. All right. Wow. You should leave the game. Why do you keep coming back?
Wow.
Get out the game. Get out the game. G, that is his name. And he can't hang. He needs to get out the game. Get out the game, Tua. Damn.
Guardian cap.
But he's available in 44% of your leagues. And I heard he might be back after week 7. So if you are in need of a quarterback, I mean, he could do worse. I'm sure Waddle and Tyreek will love to have him back.
Oh, yeah, no. All their owners are going to be real happy with him.
Everybody's going to love it, but shit. I feel bad for this kid. He really needs to just...
They need to trade for a good backup.
I really think they need to bring Fitzmagic back, man. That nigga still got some gas in the tank. I know he still got some gas in the tank.
If Ryan wants to play...
Yo, he need to come back.
Come on back,
Ryan, they need you, my brother.
We need you back, man.
Bring the beard back. Okay?
And it's Miami. You remember the good times.
Come on, man. He did good there.
Put the shades on with the chains.
Oh, God. I love when white people get gaudy, man.
Yo, man, you was Big Kirko before Big Kirko. Let's be
real. You got anybody else on the ad list, Ness? We got left on there, man.
Yo. All right, the last player on my ad list. And it's bittersweet for me to say this because I'm waiting all season.
Bittersweet ads here. It's big.
Evan Ingram of the Jacksonville Jaguars. This man.
Probably got to say his name.
Yes. Oh my God.
That's been keeping him on the bench every week. Like, he's going to break out.
He's going to play eventually.
He's been wanting to add him to your ads for weeks. He's been adding him from the draft.
I had drafted him as my tight end. He had that silent-ass Pro Bowl season last year when no one knew.
He had to do some painful weeks.
Oh, my God. Yo.
The price to be right.
How do you hurt yourself in warm-ups?
It's a bittersweet.
Yo, you hurt his in your warm-ups and I've been waiting 4 long weeks to finally play him.
Oh, man.
And the wildest part is, I didn't even wake up in time. I forgot there was a London game.
Brother, don't remind me.
So, now, to wake up to this man having 10 receptions for 102 yards.
Felt that, huh?
Oh, PPR.
At least you woke up to that.
I felt great.
I woke up to
tight end position. I love it.
I woke up to Keenan Allen on my bench.
And I want y'all to love it. So seriously, go out and get Evan Ingram. He is an integral part of the Jacksonville Jaguars offense. He needs to be on everybody's roster because it's the tight ends.
100% agree. Again, we were talking earlier about how well Trevor Lawrence is playing. He's not even in the top of the league. Trevor Lawrence is one of the bottom barrel quarterbacks, and he's still a good quarterback. I don't know what to say, really.
If we're being real, he's got his safety valve back.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram.
I mean, that was really what was affecting him in the first part of the season. It was Evan Ingram
being
missing that caused the team to suffer. So now that he's back, like you said, his safety valve, it's going to change the way the whole entire game is played over there in Jacksonville. I agree. The last player, and you don't have any more, right?
No, we're good.
Okay.
We're good.
The last player that we're going to add to our waiver wire ad list this week is a player from the Los Angeles Chargers. He's currently rostered in about 16% of your leagues. It's a running back by the name of Kimani Vidal. I would highly recommend rostering this man. It is not a question. He needs to be on your team right now. Even if you're strong at running back, pick this boy up. Bye weeks are still here, and the playoffs are coming. You don't know what you're going to need. You need sure bets on your team, and I think this is a sure bet.
And he looks like he is about to take over that backfield.
He's definitely going to take over.
Gus Edwards gets J.K. Dobbins.
Gus Edwards is on IR, as you all are probably aware. And the only other competition for runs in that backfield is J.K. Dobbins, and y'all all know he has an extensive injury history. So there's only a matter of time before Kimani Vidal is running that backfield, and he's going to do numbers.
Big facts. I agree wholeheartedly.
There's just nothing else to say.
There's nothing.
Add him to your team right now.
Because we all know Greg Roman used to be the offensive coordinator of the Baltimore Ravens for so many years.
And you know he loves running. Run that ball.
Run it down your damn
Run that motherfucking ball.
That's why his boys are over there with him.
That's it. That's it. Listen, man, this has been a great episode. Thank you so much for checking out another episode of Through the Wire podcast. I'm your host, Alan A.B.
And I'm Ness.
That's right.
We did it.
We did it, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, definitely make sure you follow us on our socials. You can follow me at Alan_AB. And you could also follow him.
You can follow me at NYNES516 on Instagram.
That's right. And also, make sure, I just want to give a shout out to Podify Studios. Thank you so much for giving us the ability to come out here and produce these pods every week. We're happy to bring it to you guys. And, just happy to have a professional studio to do it in. So I just want to say thank you to Podify Studios. If you want, go ahead and follow Podify Studios at Podify Studios at gmail.com. I'm sorry, not Podify Studios. Go ahead and follow Podify Studios when you get a chance. One more thing. Before you guys go ahead and do anything else, we appreciate the views, but we also want to make sure that we are entertaining you as a community. It's hard for us to do that without having any response from you guys. So if you can, just let us know what's... That sounds desperate.
Like, share. It doesn't matter if it sounds desperate.
Say it again, because we overlapped what I was trying to correct it.
Comment, like, share. That's all we have to say. It doesn't matter if it sounds like it's desperate.
Yeah.
It's what the algorithm wants.
That's it.
And what the algorithm wants, the algorithm gets.
We have to feed this beast called YouTube. I don't know. It's hungry. It makes us do this. We have to give it comments and likes and shares, and then it's nice.
Analytics show that humans do not seem to do things unless you tell them to do it. So please comment, like, and share.
Click that button.
Thank you.
We're out of here, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. All right. Recording in 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna just let it slow roll because of the intro song. Oh man, with your t-shirt, you got a little, you got a wedgie under your titty.
Yeah, it's for fat men, you know. I don't feel like wearing a hoodie every time.
Had to help you before our audio kicks in, you know. You know what I'm saying? Man, you sound like Philly. That's funny as shit. My beard. That's
the beard. Even with the way the fucking do-rag's on.
It's so hard, man. I'm always wearing a Yankee fitted. We're in a football show. You know, we're talking about football stats. It's hard to not wear a Yankee fitted, so do-ragging it this week.
He goes with everything.
I'm so hood. Yeah, I wear my pants below my waist. Man, T.I. was really proud. T-Pain was so proud to sing that shit, man. All right. Welcome back. Yeah, see it. Oh, man. Welcome back to another episode of Through the Wire. I feel like we... All right, you know what? I got to remember, we have a whole little intro shit now, so... All right, should we act like we're looking at the ceiling, looking at the world spinning around us in this intro?
The limit.
Oh shit, we got 2 intros now. Fuck it. What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Let's get to our real set because you guys know what it is now. Welcome back to another episode of Through the Wire. I'm your host, Alan A.B.
And this is Ness.
Oh, come on. You guys already know what it is. Man, we have just survived week 5. The bye weeks are bye-weeking. And I don't even know if I could blame the misery on bye weeks at this point. Injuries and all kinds of fuckery is amongst us. How'd you do this week, bro?
Well, was that 2-1? 2-1. It was my undefeated streak ends.
Oh,
we know that was going to happen eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Mm-hmm.
It came to an end. Decisions were made. Mistakes were made. It happens.
I can't catch an intro here today. I'm trying to keep it in.
Standing on business.
Fuck. We're bringing it back in. I feel like everything I'm doing feels too... Okay, we're going to act like this is the intro again. Is this recording? Oh, shit. Oh, now it's recording. Okay. Yeah.
You got?
Yeah, man. Well, welcome back again to our new set. How you guys like? No. Oh, sorry. Dang, I hate that.
Because we didn't even... we did address the fact that we had a new set last week.
Yeah, we did a little bit. Welcome back. This is Through the Wire podcast. I'm your host, Alan A.B., and that's your other host.
Ness.
Yes. Welcome to our new set once again. How do you guys like it? Do you guys like the new ambiance, the feng shui? Is it giving fantasy football for you guys? Hope you like it. Welcome back. I'm excited. Catch my words.
I'm excited.
I'm excited to jump into this week, bro. I mean, I shouldn't be because I just caught an L, but Look, week 5 was week 5ing. The bye weeks are amongst us. Oh my god, I'm fucking up right now. Bad. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm gonna start this over again just so we don't have to do the stop and go. I'm so sorry, bro.
Gotcha. No problem.
I'm sorry.
No problem.
I'm not even gonna save that clip. That was
No problem, Mushmouth. We got this.
Yeah.
We got this.
How now, brown cow? How now?
Rubber baby buggy bumpers.
Rubber baby bumpers. Sally shall seashell by seashore. Ali oxen free. Ali likes oxtails G. All right. Got that out the system. You know, you gotta get that, that newscaster shit out the way. You know. Yeah, you gotta get all the fumbles out before you start.
Shit.
Welcome back to another episode of Through the Wire, the podcast. We're your host, Alan AB.
And I'm Ness.
Oh yeah, and welcome to another episode. Thank you for tuning in today. I hope you guys like the new set. Once again, we're inside for the winter, so we just wanted to change the vibes up. So I hope you guys enjoy. But let's just jump right into the thick of things, man. Week 5. Wow, bye weeks started. There was a few teams out, like you know already. And this week, we actually had to go ahead and address, there were some, not only absences, but there's also some more people that are going to be absent going forward after week 5. Am I correct?
Oh, yes. Yes, indeed, sir.
You want to tell the fans what's going
on?
On
so apparently Robert Saleh, head coach of the New York Jets, lost his job today. Woody Johnson just walked in. Didn't even discuss it with the general manager. Nothing. Just came in, handed him his papers like, yo, you fired my guy, get out. They didn't even allow him to see the players.
That's
he didn't even get a chance to address the team. They just had security escort him out first thing in the morning.
I don't know about you. That sounds personal. That sounds like something personal. I don't think this was on the field or football related. I don't know the details yet, so I don't want to jump into speculation, but I gotta say, it doesn't warrant the attempt that was made here to let go of Robert Saleh. I feel like I know we were talking off camera earlier. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but you were even saying this isn't the type of move you make mid-season, especially in a season like this where the Jets actually do look like a real. Man, let me tread lightly here. I don't want to lie to y'all.
Their defense.
The Jets' defense has been really. Man, amazing. I mean, that's part of the weekend's recap here. Sam Darnold got brought back to earth, and I picked a great week to start him for the first time. Whoop-de-doo. Anyone who started Sam Darnold, I'm pretty sure you had a weekend like mine, but that's neither here nor there. Look, Robert Saleh has something. He has a solid defense, and his offense has potential. I mean, yes, it's a building team, but I just can't understand why you would do something like that.
If anything, the person that should have been fired was Nathaniel Hackett because he's the one who's the offensive coordinator, and he's the one that selects the play calling for the offense. The offense has been stagnant, and it's unimaginative. Yeah. If anything, he should have been fired, but the reason he's not getting fired is because he's Aaron Rodgers' friend. So he's basically got job security.
The nepotism.
He's got job security. So.
Well, yeah, week 5 was a doozy. Like you guys know already, there were a few teams that were out. I believe Jacksonville was one of them. I'm sorry.
No, Jacksonville played.
Jacksonville played, right? Dang. What was it, week 5?
Titans was one. The Titans were on by last week.
Hold on. I'm going to go off. We're going to jump back in soon. Let's get the details.
Yeah, it was the Titans were on by last week.
All right, so week 5, like you guys already know, the Titans, the Lions, the Chargers, and the Eagles were on their bye weeks. So if you guys had anybody out from those teams, I'm pretty sure you had to deal with those, losses. Of course, like people like Saquon Barkley, who's like the top runner, like one of the top runners of the league right now, or just Jaden Hurst, like any of these top players that you're normally starting. I'm pretty sure you had to fill in those blanks this week. So, with that being said, do you feel like you had any weak areas this week, do you feel like a lot of people suffered in like? Where do you think a lot of people got hit the hardest this weekend? I guess week 5.
They probably got hit hard when it came to running backs. That's mainly where they got hit hard at because, like you said, they lost. There was J.K. Dobbins was on bye. Saquon Barkley's on bye.
All the Titans running backs.
Tajay and Tony Pollard were on bye. So yeah, that's a good amount of players that people already regularly start. So at that point, that's when you're gonna start digging deep.
Yeah.
And then luckily, if you happen to pick right, you came up good.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully hopefully you didn't have anybody like Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery, who hasn't really been doing much this year, but still, well, Montgomery, has he been going?
Oh yes,
yeah,
that's my friend.
Take that
yes,
back.
He has.
So hopefully you haven't had someone like Jahmyr Gibbs or David Montgomery, because this is one of those weeks where you probably had to fill in those voids. Well, the bye weeks do continue, just to make sure that we continue on. We do want to make sure that we prepare you for the next week. Week 6 is amongst us right now, so while we go into week 6, just make sure that you're prepared for these teams to be out of your play. The Miami Dolphins are going to be on their bye week this week. The Minnesota Vikings are going to be on their bye week this week. The Los Angeles Rams and the Kansas City Chiefs. If you have anybody on these teams, Kyron Williams, Pat Mahomes, you're going to have to find some way to fill in those gaps because those are really effective players in the teams.
And let's be real, nobody's been playing anybody from Miami since Stuart's been out.
Oh, you already know what it is. The only person that people were playing got injured this week in A-Chain.
Yeah, true. And
last week.
And even that, it's been sad without Tua. Crazy. People were hating on that man a few years ago.
You know what? While we're on the topic, right, before we jump into the waivers, they're saying that after this bye week, right, there's talks of Tua coming back to practice. I'm torn on this.
You already know where I stand on it. If he's good, what have I said off camera? He better have a Guardian cap on.
Yeah.
He gonna be walking around with them big ass Super Mario helmets on his head.
Look, as much as I want to see players on my team like Tyreek Hill benefit from this, I really don't think he needs to come back on the field. Like, bro, just count your wins. I know the Dolphins aren't going to stop him because they want their money. They want their money's worth. They want all their money's worth. They give them that deal. They want to collect.
They want that return.
They want
that ROI. Return. They want that ROI.
You know what it is. They don't really care about the best interest. But at this moment, yeah, I mean, look, we're expecting Tua to return after the bye week. So if you have Tua on your team, just be prepared for anything. Because, I mean, he could return. He could make that decision last minute. We don't know. Like, this is so up in the air right now. So if you're a Tua owner, I wouldn't let go of him yet. I mean, while we're going into the waiver wire, I would start with that. With these teams going on the bye weeks, there's going to be a lot of movement, and it's going to be hard to make moves. So that's why, even with that in mind, I don't think we're going to be doing the drop list this week because it's going to be hard to make decisions with so many people out of play with and a lot of injuries going on. But I guess we can start with another segment.
Yeah, let's go with our ad list.
Yeah, we're gonna go with another segment. Before we get to the ad list, we're gonna start with one of our normal segments. Today we're gonna jump right into the watch list. Basically, like you guys already know, the watch list is a show. You guys already know the watch list is basically part of the show where we give you the players that we think you need to keep an eye on. Not necessarily adding them to your team, especially now when it's hard to make decisions on who to drop. But these are players that I would say it's best that you just put that watch list button on, hit that star, follow them on Yahoo waiver wire shit. I even follow them on Twitter sometimes just to see what the hell they're talking about. Sometimes players will tell you what's going on by accident, But this is the watch list, so I guess we can jump right into the player number one. I don't know if you want to take us away, Ness, or if you want me to lead the way.
I mean, you can lead it because we both are going to agree on this first player.
Yeah. Well, I guess the first person that we're going to add to our watch list is someone that we both had on our list, so we'll start with him. I'm going to jump right into the wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, Jalen Tolbert. I hope I'm saying his name right.
I think it's Tolbert because you think it's gonna be Tolbert.
Oh,
Tolbert.
Let me make sure I'm saying his name right.
Yeah, it's Tolbert. I think it's Tolbert.
No, his first name is what I'm worried about.
Oh, Jalen?
Is it Jalen?
Jalen. Tolbert.
Oh, you got it? Oh, yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure. It was
because they have 2 Jalen's on that team.
The Tolbert part I knew. It was the Jalen part I was worried about. Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah. So I'm sorry. So yeah, the first player that we're going to start off with is Jalen Tolbert. Jalen Tolbert is owned in about 8% of your leagues right now. He's a wide receiver for. I'm stuck mouth today. Jalen Tolbert's owned in about 8% of your leagues right now. He's a wide receiver for the Dallas Cowboys, and if you guys have any idea of what Dallas is looking like right now, let me just tell you. Jalen has filled in that gap for the Amari Cooper, Mike Gallup role. Is it Mike Gallup? That's it? Yeah, that's his name, right? I'm sorry, I'm always calling it that. Like, I feel like an old man. I feel like I be messing the names up all the time. So I feel like, Tolbert's definitely starting to fill in that gap where Amari Cooper and Mike Gallup used to be on the team. He's definitely filling in those roles, and I feel like this might be his breakout year. I'm not saying he's going to be a top 20 receiver, but I think he will be a top-tier receiver. I feel like there's about 3 different tiers. There's a mid-tier and there's a lower tier. I think Tolbert might be around the ending. He might be rounding out the end of that top tier of receivers that you could get your hands on for the rest of the season. I do see some consistency developing with him with the targets and his point share and his snap counts as well. But I believe Tolbert might be someone.
And it definitely assisted in the fact that Brandon Cooks has been missing.
Absolutely.
So that's a lot of where it's helping out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like him and Prescott have definitely developed some chemistry. I feel like this second year is this his second year on the team?
I believe it is.
I believe this is his second year on the team. I could be mistaken, but I feel like this season him and Prescott do seem to have a little bit more chemistry. It seems like he's finding him a little bit more, and again with people out like Cooks, I think that we could definitely see him at least put up some consistency. I don't know when Cooks comes back. Let me see. When is Cooks due to come back? Because I feel like that could affect things too when it comes to Tolbert.
Mm-hmm.
How often are we looking forward to this? Now, right now.
Oh, he's on IR, my friend.
IR, right? So
as of Saturday, he's been sent to IR.
Yep.
So at least minimum 4 weeks.
Yeah, he's got at least 4 weeks out. They're expecting Tolbert to step in and basically, fill that gap. With him and CeeDee Lamb as the top 2 pass catchers. Yep. Man, that actually opens things up for the tight ends too.
Yeah, for at least the next 3 weeks.
Look, I mean, factor in that you guys have a bye week on week 7, but for the week 6, 8, and 9, you guys have a solid wide receiver here. I would definitely say, shoot, am I gonna just stop saying watch list and just add this man? Or
yeah.
I mean, I'd add him. I'd say I'd add him because you know what, you got Detroit. You got the bye week, of course, and you got San Fran and Atlanta. And those are going to be 2 teams you could definitely
if you're in deeper leagues, like 12 to 16 man, you already know this is a man you got to pick up.
Yeah, I would say, definitely Jalen Tolbert. Who's your next guy, Ness?
All right, so next I'll kick it off with Ray McCloud.
Oh, he's back.
Yes, yes, Ray's back. Because, and it's mainly, I say this mainly because Atlanta just seems to be based on, hey, we're going to throw the ball. Like, did you see Kirk Cousins throw up 509 yards last game? Mm-hmm. That went to everyone. Mm-hmm. Everyone was able to eat. Everybody was able to. Drake London ate. Darnell Mooney ate. Ray McCloud ate. Everybody was able to eat. Even Kyle Pitts was a factor.
I saw.
So I want pieces of that. I want pieces of the Atlanta offense. I never thought I would say this post Matt Ryan, but here we are.
I agree with you, actually. I think Ray. I had him for a minute and I dropped him. Do I regret it? I don't know yet. I don't know if I regret it yet, but you are. You're definitely on to something. Kirk Cousins currently owned in about 51% of your leagues. Is my next pick, so I'm going to stay right here in Atlanta. Kirk Cousins. I don't know what to say here. This is the watch list, so I feel like this is exactly where both of these players belong. Honestly, I think they're attached to each other and they are actually fit perfectly right here on the watch list. Reason I say that, and it's also the reason I dropped Ray McCloud. I don't see the consistency yet. I would say this is why we watch list players, because we don't want to pull the trigger too early and have them wasting time and space on our bench. Even though you can have a speculative ad that just sits there and waits till they develop to what you think their season's going to be. However, Kirk Cousins, he did do this against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, whose defense hasn't been that strong this year. And also, this is not his typical week. If you are looking at his other weeks, he actually threw 509 yards this week, but he also threw 238 last week, 230 the week before, 240 the week before. He's middling around 235 yards, right? Another thing, too, his passing attempts surged past his normal attempts this week. He definitely normally takes about between 30 and 35 attempts a week. This week he took almost 60 attempts. He damn near doubled his normal amount of passes this week. So I am saying this to say, damn, those are an amazing game, right? However, I don't want to get excited by the big fish. This is something that doesn't come often. I do want to see consistency before I say, hey, pull the trigger and add him to your team. However, I think Kirk Cousins and Ray McLeod, two amazing ads this week. Yes. Who's your next guy, Ness?
The next person we're gonna. I have Antonio Gibson.
Okay.
Running back for the New England Patriots.
Blast from the past.
Yes.
Used to be on the Washington Commanders. Now he is a Patriot. Slowly getting reps in. How's he looking? Why would you add him to the watch list?
Mainly because Ramondre Stevenson hasn't been the player that he was projected to be in the beginning of the season. He has some fumbling issues, and he's been really underperforming. And in that time that he's been having some issues, Antonio Gibson's just been slowly picking up reps, and he's been looking at the clear better runner.
Yeah.
And he's looking like it's better, even though it is the New England Patriots offense. So I mean that it would honestly be from a game by game basis. He's not like an every week play, but it's definitely a speculative ad.
I understand. I actually get why you would say that. Yeah, Ramondre Stevenson hasn't been playing amazing this week. So if you are weak in the running back position, it can't hurt. It can't hurt. I would say, yeah, why not? I think that's not a bad watch list. Well, with that being said, sorry about that. With that being said, oh my gosh, get my words together. Why is there we go. Sorry about that. Well, yeah, I definitely am going to be staying in the same pocket here. With the last player, that's your last player, right?
Yep.
All right, cool. All right, 3, 2, 1. The last player I'm going to add to this watch list is another running back by the name of Jalen Wright. A whole lot of Jalen's here. Jalen Wright, the running back for the Miami Dolphins. He's currently owned about 8% rostered. Jalen Wright. I just want to talk about him for a second. Jalen Wright, a lot of people are probably going to stay away from Miami for good reasons, like you were saying earlier. You really typically don't want anyone in the Miami backfield, wide receiver. You don't want anyone on that team right now. It's looking like a red flag until we know what's going on with Tua. However, at this moment, you have a really broken up backfield at the Miami Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Everyone's injured.
Yep.
I mean, A-Chain just had a very serious, you saw the concussion that happened last week. Raheem Mostert has been having a nagging injury all season. Jeff Wilson, the junior, he's just recently popped up on the injury list. He's another person who's been suffering, and there's really like nobody left. Right now, on top of that, this kid Jalen Wright, it's not just that he's the next man up. He's actually a pretty good running back. He actually used to be a wide receiver in his first few years of college. He turned into a running back eventually, and that means a great deal for whoever's going to be replacing Tua if Tua doesn't come back, as well as if Tua does come back. I think it's a win-win in this position because he's going to be a great check-down back.
Mm-hmm. Excellent check-down option.
Yeah, man. This is somebody that they picked up in the 45th. Sorry. This is somebody that they picked up in the 4th round of the draft this year, and it's for apparent reasons. With these people having such a great backfield, they still saw potential in building a future team around this kid. I know a lot of these players that you see on the team right now, their contracts are going to be up after this year, and they are slowly looking at who are going to be taking the reins over, like A-Chain and kids like Jalen Wright. I think this is somebody that can be a great ad not only for the leagues that you're in now as far as PPR leagues, but also for keeper leagues if you're looking for someone who's young who might end up taking the reins in the years to come. So it's somebody that I think you should be on your watch list right now because, again, he's not somebody that's going to return value right away. You also have a bye week coming up, so it's like there's not really much to benefit from adding him right now. But I would say leave him on the waivers. Click that watch list. Let's see what happens towards the end of the season. You might see his name a lot more.
Yep. Yeah. It was only week 6.
Only week 6. Well, that was the watch list. Thank you for checking out that watch list brought to us by... All right, I'm joking. We don't have a sponsor yet, but you can be a sponsor. If you are watching the show and you're interested in having any product placement opportunities, please reach out to us. Hit us in a DM. Follow us you could follow us at our personal pages or even DM us at Podify Studios if you're interested in having any product placement opportunities here. But going forward, we're going to move on to the next part of the show. Basically, this is where we add our waiver wire ads. This is just going to be our waiver wire ads for this week. These are players that we think you need to have on your team immediately. People that you should get your hands on as soon as you can. I'm going to throw it back to you, Ness. Pause. Whoa. Who's the first player that you're adding to his watch?
You got to stop this. I'm not mature enough to deal with this.
I'm definitely not mature enough to do it. Who's the first player that you're adding to this waiver?
Again, we're going to the first player again is a player that we both agreed on. We talked about this beforehand. Tyrone Tracy of the New York Giants.
Yes.
And I know I find that an oxymoron as much as this man shits on the Giants, and well, I do as well. That we would be considering picking up a running back from the Giants, but you know why? Because there's a running back. That's why, and he has an opportunity to really take over this backfield. Because Devin Singletary, you know what you have with Devin Singletary. You know what it is. You know what you have.
Yeah,
so let's go with the new hotness.
Let's be honest. Everyone, Devin Singletary is like, oh man, I don't want to say it. There's gonna be one of those clips. I feel it already.
Do it. Do it. He's been on 3 teams in 3 years. Do it.
Devin Singletary is that girl that keeps getting cheated on, but you know why. You feel bad, but you know why.
And there it is.
You know there's better out there. All right, so listen.
I take full responsibility for this.
It's your fault. I was trying to hold back.
It's with my fault.
I had to hold that back. I'm going to get in trouble for that one. Somehow, some way, it's going to come back to bite me in the ass. Anyway, listen, man. I say go ahead. I agree. This is somebody that was both of our watch lists. Tyrone Tracy is basically 23% roster, so he's very available right now. Also, Devin Singletary being injured opened a really great window for Tracy. One thing you probably don't understand, because you guys just probably think, oh, yeah, he's the next guy up because he just got added. He's the next guy up, so we just got to add him. Listen, if you're not watching the games, study the games at least. Don't just add people because of the waivers. Understand why they're there, okay? If you were paying attention, he wasn't even the next guy up. I'm not sure if a lot of people know this. Eric Gray was the next guy up. And what happened was Eric Gray basically ran the ball 28 snaps and then fumbled. And then after that, there was no looking back for the Giants.
That part.
They never put him back in the game.
Because I was personally, between me and you, I was looking at Tracy last week when Devin Singletary was out.
Yeah.
So I was very closely paying attention.
Yeah.
Yo, we went into the second quarter. It was just like, yo, he hasn't touched the ball yet.
At all.
Hey, what's going on? And I saw Gray.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah. Yes.
No one even talked about
Eric
him.
Gray ran the ball all first half. They brought him in the second half. But guess what? Eric Gray only got 28 snaps. This dude got 45 snaps in that second half, which says a lot. You know. Fuck, that's horrible. No, fuck it. Devin Singletary is Halle Berry. He is the Halle Berry of the league. I don't care how decent of. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You weren't good enough.
Oh shit! Not in Buffalo. Not in Houston. Not in New Jersey.
Come on, you can blame Eric Benet in Buffalo all you want, but it's you. It's not. I'm done. I'm done. All right, next player that we're gonna. So yeah, we agree on Tyrell Tracy. The next player I'm gonna add to this list is somebody that you actually had in your watch list. So I'm gonna just get him out the way early. Mm-hmm. I actually agree. Darnell Mooney should be rostered. He was in your watch list this week, right?
No, last week.
Last week. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I'll read you. All right. So this person that I'm adding to the this person that I'm gonna add is someone that you actually added to your watch list. Mm-hmm. I think last week.
Yeah.
Darnell Mooney. Darnell Mooney. He's owned in about 48% of those leagues. One thing about Darnell Mooney is this. You know, a lot of people slept on him, like you said before. We all know what he was dealing with. He struggled, but it wasn't because of him. It was because of Justin Fields.
Yep.
Okay? He's still a really good receiver. And if Kirk Cousins is to continue his push to greatness this season, they're all going to benefit, but the biggest benefactor is going to be Darnell Mooney. Mm-hmm. Now, even if this consistency doesn't remain the same, even if Kirk Cousins doesn't hold up that potential all season, Darnell Mooney is still going to benefit. He's still the outlier in this team. He's the top wide receiver in this core. He's going to get most of those big plays. Whenever Kirk Cousins is looking for a check, whenever Kirk Cousins is looking for an escape, a bailout, Mooney's always going to be that deep receiver that gets out there and beats the secondary. So you're going to have to rely on somebody in that offense, even when things are bad. And Darnell Mooney's going to be one of those people that should be consistent no matter what.
Yep. For the past 4 weeks, he's been above 7%, above 7 receptions.
Yep.
And that 16 last game, like I said, that was an outlier game, but damn, 16.
Mm-hmm. Darnell Mooney.
Darnell Mooney, that clearly.
Mm-hmm. Who you got next, buddy?
All right. My next play that I have is Roshan Johnson.
Ooh.
Of the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, I'm so mad I let him go.
Yeah, because, we had that one little blip from DeAndre Swift. It was I guess he felt that fire on his back, like he was going to lose his job. So he went off last week. Ew. But then this week he had a decent game, but now Roshan went off for 2 touchdowns, and he's looking like he's like Chicago's head coach. They were talking about they were going to get Roshan more involved last week. Heading into last week, they said they were going to get him more involved. I don't think that because of Swift having one good game that's going to change it. They're still going full speed ahead with this plan. Mm-hmm. So I believe that later on in the season, I would love to have Johnson on the team because it just Chicago seems to be getting it together now.
They do. They do seem to be getting it together now. I do see that they're actually giving them. They're. I don't know what to say. They're looking better. I don't know why I don't trust them, but I mean they are looking better. They did a great job against the Panthers.
There's a history.
They beat the Panthers 36-10 this weekend, and like you said, the rushing game was great. Roshan Johnson, 2 touchdowns. The only thing I don't like about him, and I still would have to say I tread lightly here, he's only got 25 yards, and this is not something that I'm comfortable by. Like those give me touchdown vulture. Mm-hmm. This is what it's giving me. It's giving me your TD vulture. I don't know if he's going to be someone who's consistent, and that's what I really, again, when we get towards this part of the season, we need those players that we know can deliver every week. I would make him more of a watch list, but I would say, if they do switch places now, and he does take over the reps from DeAndre Swift, which Again, Swift had a touchdown too, so again, I don't know how that's going to work, but if he does end up eating into Swift's number, and Swift had 73 yards, it's not a bad game. If he does end up eating into his reps, yeah, I can see it, but for now, I don't know. I don't think he's a must-have. Yeah. I would say I would disagree. I would make him a watch list for sure.
Gotcha.
But my next ad for this week, somebody that we're basically highly fond of, our boy Josh Downs. It's funny because no one was talking about this dude all season.
Nope.
No one. We were. Mm-hmm. We brought him up. I mean,
you remember last year?
Come on. Ness, I get Ness credit. Ness reminded me. Cause I'm like, he's got to be in everyone's team earlier in the league. I said, no way he's on the waivers. And in our league, of course, he was picked up, but someone let him go. Someone fumbled. Someone dropped him in the sea like that old bitch on the Titanic.
Oh, you going for 2?
Here I was.
You going for 2? It's not bad enough to have 1 clip. You got to go for 2 this week.
Hey, you know what? It's going to chop early. You might have to get another clip out. So, Joshua Downs, wide receiver for the Indianapolis Colts. He's owned in about 41% of your leagues. He's still available highly in a lot of your leagues. Go get that, man.
Hey,
listen,
we're going up, baby. It's better than 20 last week. Yeah,
go.
we're going up.
Listen, these last 2 games, he's averaging 8 receptions. He's gotten over 70 yards a game these last 2 games. Again, I'm saying last 2 games because he was injured for the first 2. Mm-hmm. So, again, you had to I'm not even going to factor his week 3 game in because that was the first game they were warming him in. They were just bringing him back into the game after a small injury. So, I'm not counting that week 3 stats because we all know those games that you have to bring the player back on the field and get him back in the groove, but you're not really trying to rely on him too often. You're just trying to get him some reps. The real game is these last 2 weeks, and that's what I'm going to go off of, and that's what I trust in. Yeah, go ahead and get you some Josh Downs.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you on that. You already know. Now, for my next player, I'm going to go with Jacksonville's running back, Tank Bigsby.
Oh, yeah. Oh, gosh, this hurts.
That man has just been on a continuous tear of getting opportunity and stealing opportunity from Travis Etienne, which I feel, unfortunately for poor Travis Etienne, he's dealing with that shoulder injury. So he's trying to fight for his job, but in doing so, he might further injure himself and then turn Tank Bigsby into a league winner.
This hurts my soul, bro. This hurts my soul. Because, this is 2 years in a row, man. I don't know. I am not, okay? Mark my words. I am not naming my fantasy team after a player anymore. This is the second year in a row that I've gotten Madden cursed by putting a player's name on the cover of my team. I'm serious. Last year, I was, don't call me Hefe, because my biggest player, my number 1 pick was Justin Jefferson. 6 weeks straight, I was killing my league. 6-0. And then I went on a sad, disastrous losing streak after he got injured, and he was no longer viable after that Week 6 game. It seems like the same's happening for my team now. My team's name is Niggas on the Run ETN. And that's right, you guessed it. ETN is my starting running back in my league. And he's had this nagging injury. I'm really afraid. I actually tried to trade Travis Etienne away last week, and I am still trying to trade Travis Etienne. If you are a Travis Etienne owner, I recommend trying to get someone to trade with you before deadlines, because this is clickbait. This is easy trade bait. Travis Etienne is getting. Normally, he's the workhorse back in this team. And you know how they are. They don't really do committee. They workhorse the hell out of ETN.
Well, it also helps that Bigsby was terrible last season.
He was. But ETN has been the workhorse here. So typically they don't really do the whole committee thing. But if ETN is outshined during this time down, he might not have his job coming back. So if you are an ETN owner, you should definitely, go ahead and get Bigsby. Because you know what? Great handcuff. Mm-hmm. And wish I did that. 2, go ahead and try to trade ETN away. Get you some good capital if you're short at wide receiver or if you're short at tight end. Hopefully, you can get a stud for that. I'm sure you can get some good capital. Yeah. My last player on the watch list. I'm sorry. My last player. Do you have any more players?
Oh, no, I'm good.
This is the last one?
Yep.
All right. So I'll just start with the last player. Then. And how we took notes. Oh, good. 10 minutes. And 3, 2. Wait, let me make sure I got the stats before I pull them up.
Oh, Long Johnson.
Oh, Long Johnson.
Pero. Brenton Strange. As long as Evan Ingram is injured, Brenton Strange will forever be my option. Well, yo.
Okay, so all right. The last player on our ads for this week is Ty Chandler. Ty Chandler is the running back for the Minnesota Vikings. He's currently owned in about 28% of your leagues. Ty Chandler might pop up on a lot of your waiver videos this week. Reason being, Aaron Jones is currently sidelined with a hip injury. And I don't know how lightly to take that or how seriously to take that. Honestly, this is a speculative ad for me. I would watch list him, but this is just too valuable of a position to sit on the waivers. You need to add him just in case.
He needs to be on your roster because if you know the history of Aaron Jones, he always gets injured. There's always a period in the season where he's going to be out. He's always getting dinged and bruised up.
Yep.
He's going to miss anywhere from 3 to 4 games in the season.
Yep.
So it's good to have Ty Chandler.
Yeah, Ty Chandler for sure.
And it's a hip injury and he's over 30, my G.
That ain't going to be easy. Honestly, this is somebody that might end up carrying the team out for the rest of the season. And the way that and then to add to that, the way that the Minnesota Vikings are playing right now.
I was definitely going to say
that. Don't you miss out right now. The Minnesota Vikings going into their bye week, 5-0.
Led by Sam Darnold.
That's nothing to take lightly. I would do with that what you will. But if you want anybody, you always want somebody on a winning team. Okay? Go ahead and get you Ty Chandler, running back on the Minnesota Vikings. That's our cue. You know what it is. The show has come to an end. I'm your boy, Alan A.B. Thank you for tuning in once again to the show that you are watching, which is Through the Wire Podcast. That's your co-host.
What's up? It's Ness.
That's right. Make sure you follow us on our socials. Follow me on Instagram at Alan A.B. on Twitter at RichENT.
You can follow me on Instagram at NYNES516 and the same at X, formerly known as Twitter.
Yes.
I'm going to say that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it's called? Sorry. I'm an old man. I don't know what the fuck these apps are called anymore. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry. I said it already. Thank you for tuning in. Also, don't forget to follow Podify Studios. If you guys podcast, reach out to them. They're doing some entry rates right now, especially for the holidays coming up.
If you're in the New York area.
Yeah, if you're in the New York area, go holler at Podify Studios. See what they got offer. Get you some these.
Get you some these.
Get you a discount on your podding, man. Go get a discount. They're doing some sales right now. DM them. I don't know. Tell them, you know what? Here's what you do. Offer code TTW. That's Through the Wire. So if you say code TTW, they'll give you 25% off on your first pod. Tell them Alan sent you. No, let me do it over again. Hey, also, before you guys leave, I just want to say a big shout out to Podify Studios. Thank you for being the podcast space for us there at the Before we... Hey, and one more thing. I'm sorry. Hey, and one more thing, man. Before we get out of here, make sure you follow Podify Studios. That's the podcast space that we're at right now. They're actually really dope. They're in the New York area. If you or anyone you know that's interested in getting into potting, or if you're interested in film, reach out to them. We have an offer code below. If you mention Through the Wire podcast, tell them code TTW. They'll give you 50% off on your first podcast. All right? That's 50% off if you mention TTW when you try to book your podcast. All right? I'm your host, Alan AB. Once again, thank you for tuning in. You guys have a great week. And good luck on your week 6. The bye weeks continue.
There will be blood. There will be blood.
That was very Halloween like. I need to put a